Alright, so here's the cylinder. Look at the orientation here. Cylinder. So the side of it seems to be okay. If you look at where the piston pushes back and forth, you actually see. It's kind of hard to tell on this camera. You actually see on both sides. You see that towards the bottom, just like that, up towards the top as well. So get it real quick. You see the scoring mark there? How it's the hash marks out there. It's in that up and down motion of the pistons. Well, this piston, excuse me. So you see that right there, and it's also about right here or so as well. Both sides. This bike only has 4,500 or so miles, and it feels great. It feels real strong. Runs real strong. I've been using Rotella T6, which is it's rated for motorcycles for wet clutches. So this is a CB300. Let's look at the displacement right there. Right. Let's see. Get that focus. I have this old camera where when you play video, it stays at a fixed focus, so it doesn't autofocus. So this is 286, right? So CB300. I'm gonna put on a. Let's see. It's my. I'm gonna put on a. Here is from this is a CRF 250. The reason why I got the CRF 250 instead of the CBR 250 is that it has that matching color of the metal, because of the CBR. This is black. I mean, I guess I could have gotten the black one just so you know that it's a difference, but obviously when you look at the cylinder, the number there, so it's only 249, right? 249 cc, but besides that, everything else is pretty much the same. Let me put them side to side. Alright, they're pretty much all the same. All the dimensions, everything is just, the part number is different because that's the main thing right there. The displacement stamp. Everything else is basically the same. Same color and everything. Alright. So I don't know, maybe in retrospect I should have got the CBR with a black color instead. So that way it becomes really obvious instead of just looking at the number that it's a different sleeve from the original. Yeah, I think that's what I should have done. Oh well, too late now. So anyways, you see the difference. And this one, obviously is brand new. I'm going to stick it back in here so it stays clean. Alright, this one I'm just going to put aside. If what I'm doing doesn't work out, I'm going to put this one back in, just because I want to keep that number at the 286. That's what it truly is. So here I am with the head, right, CB300 head. So the head on the 300 versus the 250, the CRF 250 or the CBR 250, the only difference is towards the end right here, this black spot right here. On the 250, it's actually drilled and tapped for the O2 sensor, whereas on the 300, the O2 sensor is actually on the header right here. It's about 2 inches or so away from the head, right along the header. And see where's it at? Right there it is. So you can see where it's mounted. and that's the O2 sensor right there. Let's see. Let's look at a few other things that's different. So let's look at the piston itself. Get the light in here. Let's look at the piston itself. The piston is pretty much the same too. It's a 300 piston, except for the very top. At first, I thought the 250 piston was actually taller, but it's actually not. Looking at this, and I actually lined up the rings, the slot for the rings. Switch hands here. So looking at this, I actually lined up the slot for the rings. So once you line up the slot for the rings, the height is basically the same. The height on the piston is basically the same. So height, the top and the bottom of the piston is the same. Looking at where the wrist pin is, that's also basically the same as well. You know, the 300 says HFA2 on the stamping there, and the 250 says HFA3. And this right here is the this is the 250 piston for both the CRF and the CBR. So the difference between the 300 and the 250 piston is the top of the cylinder. So if you look at it, let me try to get a different angle here. So you look at it, see that the top of the piston here is actually on the 300 is actually lower. It's lower, whereas the 250 it comes up a little bit. So that's the difference between having the stroker crank on the 300 and with the stroker crank. That will give more compression if you use the same cylinder. I mean, excuse me, if you use the same piston, but they made it so there's less material there. So basically, there's more once the piston reaches the top, there's more airspace volume there. So that's how they kept the compression the same between the 300 and the 250 at 10.7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this 250 piston in, and everything should work, and I'm going to have a higher compression. I'm going to actually raise it up to about 2.3, so going from 10.7 to 2.3. So that's basically 1.6 higher in compression ratio. So that basically means I'm going to have to use super unleaded instead of regular, because on the 10.7 you could just use regular unleaded, and the 12. Once you get above 12, it's a good idea to use a super unleaded. So you see here the piston, it comes up, and right as soon as where my finger is, it actually dips down right there. Where this one, let's see, this one it doesn't dip down. It actually bulges up right there. Actually bulges up. So that's basically increasing the compression right there, reducing that. Once the piston's at top dead center, it reduces the actual volume there. So that's how I'm gonna get higher compression. So besides that little bit of scoring on the sleeve, everything seems to be okay. Let's see, looking at the piston on this side, actually I can see a little bit of wear. It's more on this side than it is right here on the side here. It's actually a little bit darker right here than it is up over here. I think you guys can sort of see that as well. Let's see. Let's look at the back side. Geez, I can't really see anything here, back here. So one thing I wanted that I thought was kind of weird. I'm not sure if it was put in the factory this way, or just the vibration caused this. But here, if you look at the piston, the rings there. Let's see. You see how all the rings are also the space between the rings, they're all lined up now. So I'm not sure how that happened, if it was done like that at the factory, or somehow the vibration in it, it all lined up. So that's kind of goofy right there. And the top ring and the middle ring, the two compression rings are basically lined up, and one of the oil rings, the bottom ring is the oil ring, right? But it has that corrugated and it's sandwiched, so that one of the ones that's the sandwich, the bread, if you will. The bottom one, that gap is actually also lined up with these two as well. So I'm not sure what's up with that. That's not right. Normally they're supposed to be 3 angles away from each other, 1, 2, and 3, so that way it's all the spaces as far apart as possible. But anyways, so that's the stock piston. I'm gonna take this out. After I take this out, I'm gonna actually weigh it, and so you guys can see what the difference in weight from this 300 piston and the other one is. Okay, so stick around for more videos. Thank you.